What's up guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be giving you guys some study tips because I'm homeschooled, but I was in public school for 5 years, homeschooled for 4, so 9 years I was in school, like school total basically. And so I just thought maybe 10. Either way, I'm gonna go ahead and explain to you some study tips. I know it's only March, but exam season's coming up fast. For some people, it might already be exam season, for all I know. But I'm gonna give you some study tips, some things I learned in school and homeschool. First, if you have trouble memorizing, get flashcards. Flashcards can be your best friend. So I'm learning Thai at the moment. We're trying to, at least. And so I write things down on flashcards. If I know I'm not going to remember it this way, I write them on flashcards. And here's the thing. Here's how you might think I'm writing on flashcards. How am I still going to remember them? Here's what you do. You get like markers or colored pencils and pens or whatever. Get your flashcards. You look at the words. So let's say I'm learning Spanish, right? Hello, hola. I'm going to write all my greetings in one color. And I'm going to write hola. And I'm going to write it in red. And rojo, I'm going to write it in red. And then I'm going to, on the back, I'm going to write it in pencil or in black or something like that. And so then I have to look at the word over and over again. If it's a long word, I'm going to have to look at that Spanish version of the long word for a while. I'm going to have to write it down. Then after that, I'm going to have to sort the cards. When you're like writing down your information on a card, you have to you're kind of memorizing it better, at least in my opinion. So I'll have my flashcards and I'll be like, oh, let me write this down. Let me write that down. That's really helpful. That was a really helpful tip for me, at least, is that flashcards, if it takes a while to learn, it's hard for me to learn, flashcards. You're trying to memorize the periodic table of elements, flashcards. There's also Quizlet. You can use Quizlet. It's like, you know, a little quiz thing. Teachers have little flashcards and things on there. It's really cool. I used it in 4th grade. And then you have little quizzes. Online, there will be little quizzes about information that you're learning that you can take. Take a little quiz. Oh, how do I find the square root of 52? Okay, we're going to do it this way. We're going to do it this way. Take quizzes. Taking quizzes on things that you have a quiz on later down the line. If you ace that quiz or ace every version of that quiz there is, it's probably going to help you. So taking online quizzes on the subject you're in or the subject or topic you're learning about is very helpful. In my opinion, it's easily just taking notes on your pencil, like on your paper and pencil or pen. Just write it down. Take your notes. Take your notes. And another study tip, lock in. I'm not even joking with you guys. Here's the thing. You know, here's what makes me angry. It makes me very angry. I will be playing Roblox, right? Because I'm a gaming channel, so I play Roblox. I'll be playing Roblox and somebody will be like, I'm in school right now, or I have a test to study for. I cannot fathom. I will never understand playing a school game, not playing a school game, playing a game knowing you have a test tomorrow that you have not studied for. When I have a test at the end of the week, you know what I have to do? Lock in. I didn't have a test every week. I did not have that in public school. But what I can tell you is that I had to lock in for every test I had when I became homeschooled. Because for high school, I had a test every day. I took a test every day in homeschool for high school, and I locked in. You have to lock in. When you have a test coming up, lock in. Just because your friends are playing all the games, well, they might be getting good grades, or they might be getting bad grades. Their parents might not care about their grades, which is why they're able to do that. Everybody's situation is different, so I feel like these are just some quick and easy study tips. Because studying is hard. School isn't fun already, I know. Not all schools are fun. Not all people at school are nice or anything like that. But you gotta lock in. You have to lock in, because you don't just get to goof around and then expect good results. And then you can't complain about a teacher complaining about you not doing your work when you are online playing a game instead of studying like you know you should be doing. Learning flashcards takes like 15 minutes tops. And that's if you're barely paying any attention. Now, if you're paying attention, you're like, okay, you're studying your flashcards, it takes 15 minutes to study a certain amount of flashcards every day. That's all it takes. I have about 20 flashcards. I study them. I look at them. Once you get wrong, you place in a separate pile, and you try and memorize those. You memorize and memorize. If you suck at memorizing, think, okay, I'm good at playing this game, and how did I memorize this? You memorized it because it was fun. You have to think, okay, if I ace this test, if I just ace the test, if I study earlier during the day, or if I just study and know what I already need to know at the beginning of the week or the middle of the week, I only have to study a small amount of time at the end of the week, and then I can just play my games and do whatever. So I feel like if you aren't locked in, you're not actually gonna pass like you want to. If you already know the material to where you can get an okay grade, if you can get a grade you're happy with without studying, you go for it. You do that. But with exam, I'm not even joking. Even the most, I used to know a girl. Her parents were so uptight about her grades, right? But then there's this other girl where her parents didn't care about her grades. But as soon as that test exam season hit, you know what happened? She said, I have to be in bed at 8:30 every day. We have a strict schedule going on. She had the strictest schedule I knew as soon as exam season hit. Because her parents knew, I can let you goof off the rest of the time as long as you know what you need to know by the end of the year when you take this test. That's all I care about. That's all they cared about. She could have done whatever she wanted, not pass the whatever. She had to pass to get a, not be held back. But she could have done all this. She could have gotten a D on something. But as long as she got that end of the year test right, she was good to go. That's all that mattered to her. It's kind of like in middle school, your grades from middle school don't go with you into high school. They don't. I think basically everybody starts off, at least for me, I started off with a 4.0 GPA. I took tests. When you take your test, depending on your test score and your grades and everything, that GPA either goes higher or lower. You can't just goof around and then complain at the end of the year about exams and how you know nothing. Pay attention. One thing I do know, when you're multitasking, is sometimes the best way people learn. So I'll be listening to something, I'll be listening to a service or something, then I'll be playing the game or whatever, and it's like I'm locking in that information. Because I have to be locked in while playing this game. I can lock in on two things at once. That's just me personally, though. And so you have to think, what do I know? How do you memorize? If you stink at memorizing, think about it like this. How did you memorize all these things in school? Because you have to memorize your ABCs somehow. Even if you have to write it over and over again. And you can't just do the same math equation over and over again. You have to do different scenarios, different problems. Otherwise, you're only going to know how to do this one way. You have to try all these different ways. And one thing I will say is when it comes to high school, you can't just goof off. You can't really just pick and choose when you decide you want school to be school, if that makes sense. But I do know a lot of people also tell me online, they'll be like, yeah, I'm just learning to memorize. That's basically what tests are. You have to learn it to memorize it. When you learn something, it should stick in your head. When you memorize something, it might not stick in your head forever, but it should stick in your head for that moment. So I say, write things down, write how to do the equation or whatever you're doing down. Practice. That's all you can do is practice. If it's really, I know a lot of people say they have a hard time memorizing. Use flashcards, okay? And then you're like, but I don't want to use flashcards because they're gonna get boring. School's boring in general. The most interesting things are kids fighting and teachers being angry, okay? That's it. School can be boring in general, but you actually do have to pass. And so school isn't everything. There are way more important things in school, like family. But at the end of the day, if it's exam season, we don't need it. We don't need to be stressed out, if you get what I mean. So if you just practice flashcards, I always have flashcards on my best friend. I truly are. I use flashcards, right? You learn on the flashcards. Then you have somebody quiz you on your flashcards. That's exactly what you do. Or you break it up into sections one by one. You learn it this way. And sometimes it's going to take you a little bit longer. If you know you're the type of person where it takes you longer to memorize something, or you know you can't get it done in time, or you know I'm going to need a little bit extra help, then lock in. Because you have to actually be locked in. Because when you're not, you're just kind of sitting there like, oh, I wish I did this, or I wish I did that, I wish I passed. You can't complain about failing when you know you didn't do anything to try. You know you didn't put any effort into trying to pass this test. You know you didn't even try and study for it. You can't look at a sheet once and say, okay, I studied. Sometimes, well, at least when I was in school, this was over 5 years ago. Over 5 years ago when I was in school, in 5th grade. Not really even 5th grade, 4th grade. When we got the homework, our homework was to help us with the test. Apparently that's not how it's like in public school anymore, but your homework is to help you your homework, I thought at least, was supposed, the schoolwork you do in school and your homework are supposed to help you for all the tests that matter, if that makes sense. So, I had this ginormous test. She said, okay, you guys, this year, we're not trying to do all this. Sorry about that. The camera died, but, okay, we're back. As I was saying, she was basically just like, okay, I'm going to teach you what you need to know for the end of the year. This homework and everything here is just to help you so you know what you need to know for 5th grade and so on for the end of the year. So lock in. My final advice, just lock in the thing. If you memorize one thing this way, try memorizing a school thing that same way and see if it works. I feel like think of something you can memorize fast and quickly and think, so how can I memorize this that same way, long or short form, and then do that. Also, work smarter, not harder. Don't put more pressure and stress on yourself, because exam season's coming up. We got like, what, y'all got a month left. I don't know if I don't even have exams to do, but got a month left until April, and then April and May, exam season. Don't be cooked. Lock in. That's it. Just lock in and flashcards. Put glitter. Do artsy things. Do little artsy crafts things with your study materials. It's really fun, and it really does help, honestly. But yeah, that's it. Hopefully these study tips helped you in some way. Or even just little school stories and experiences that help you realize, okay, maybe I could do it this way instead of this way. Try different methods, and if y'all enjoyed this video, like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what you want to see from me in the future. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.